And welcome to a special Time to Fire Tim Geitner edition of Hannity. Now, the story tonight, the lies keep coming. They're coming from Tim Geitner. They're coming from the president, and they're coming from Chris Dodd. And while they're busy feigning outrage and pretending to take responsibility, we have all the proof. And that is our headline on this day 60 of the Obama presidency, Proof of Lies. Now, remember all the madness, all the outrage that Democrats hurled at AIG CEO Liddy over the bonus scandal? If you don't remember, here's a reminder.
This old school teacher is going to give you a little bit of advice. Pay the $165 million back. What you've done here is basically you've reserved the bonus pool for the employees, and not only have you done that in this agreement, but you've basically protected yourself, immunized yourself from the stupidest decisions made by AIG.
Now, don't be fooled by the fake demonstrations of anger. These people passed the stimulus bill. They green-lighted the money for AIG, and it's all in the bill that they never read. Well, now there were warning signs. Congressman John Boehner, he's one that saw it coming.
1,100 pages, not one member of this body has read. Not one. What happened to the promise that we're going to let the American people see what's in this bill for 48 hours? But nope, we don't have time to do that.
All right, so now everyone's crying foul, claiming they had no idea these ridiculous bonuses were okayed. Well, wrong again. Tim Geitner, well, he knew on March 10th, only after he spent a couple of days playing pretty stupid.
Our assistance comes with appropriately tough conditions on compensation to senior executives that's going to, incent what we need to happen and make sure that taxpayer dollars are not going to benefit those senior executives in ways that don't make sense.
All right, not so fast, Mr. Tax Cheat. On March 3rd, that's a week before, in an open hearing before the House Budget Committee, he was asked about these very bonuses by New York Congressman Joseph Crowley. Take a look at this.
Just last month, AIG paid 343 employees of AIG FP, their financial products division, that created the financial hole that AIG is in, and in turn, a multi-billion dollar bill for American taxpayers of $56 million in bonuses, and are slated to pay an additional $162 million in bonuses to 393 participants in the coming weeks. This company claims to be on the brink of disaster, and it's handing out bonuses.
It's very important that we make sure that where we're providing exceptional assistance to these firms, that assistance is going, again, to achieve the objectives of these programs, not to reward the kind of executives that got us in this mess.
And if we really want to dig further back, well, we can go all the way back to November 2008 when Geitner, then the head of the New York Federal Reserve, was negotiating the specifics of the restructuring of the AIG bailout. And according to documents that were received by the Fox Business Network, multiple emails went back and forth between AIG attorneys and the Federal Reserve about the handling of executive bonuses. And AIG executives, well, they maintain that they also informed the New York Fed. So are we supposed to believe Geitner, the head of the New York Federal Reserve, would not have been privy to any of this information, which, by the way, was circulating between the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, and the New York Fed? Well, the American people are not that stupid. Well, now enter Senator Chris Dodd, who's doing plenty of lying himself. Now, he created the loophole that allowed executives to receive their million-dollar bonuses. You know why? It was called the Dodd Amendment. But here's what he said this past Tuesday, March 17th, when blame was getting thrown his way.
I can't point a finger at someone who was responsible for authoring the language that put those dates in. I can tell you this much. When my language left the Senate, it did not include it. When it came back, it did.
But then miraculously, Mr. Dodd, well, he had an epiphany, and he said this Wednesday, the very next day.
As many know, the administration was, among others, was not happy with the language, wanted some modifications to it. They came to us, our staff, and asked for changes. And the changes at the time did not seem that obnoxious or onerous, so we agreed to some modification at the time.
So here we are now, March 20th, with your Treasury Secretary. Well, he's caught up in blatant lies. Chris Dodd, he's trying to save face as opposed to your money. And where's your president?
The immediate bonuses that went to AIG are a problem, but the larger problem is we've got to get back to an attitude where people know enough is enough, and people have a sense of responsibility, and they understand that their actions are going to have an impact on everybody. And if we can get back to those values that built America, then I think we're going to be okay.
All right, the lies stop here, Mr. President. Secretary Geitner, Senator Dodd, you know what? We're on to this, and the American people are also on to you, and it's time for heads to roll. You know why? Because the American people that are saving for their retirement and their kids' college education, they deserve better.